What's up, guys and girls? God of War is filled with mystery and unexplained questions. For this video, I will bring up a lot of those unexplained mysteries and try to answer who are the higher gods. My usual stance is there are things in games and stories that shouldn't or can't be explained. However, since the podcast I did with other God of War content creators, this has been on my mind, pestering me ever since. Now, I'm gonna say this now, and the answer I'm going to give at the end might feel like a cop-out. However, just let me explain. So I'm going to jump right into it, but remember to hit that like button. Hitting the like button really pushes these videos out onto the YouTube site, so do me a favor and take 2 seconds to smash it. Here are the answers to the last trivia question. Thank you all so much for trying, even to the people who got it wrong, but congratulations to the people on your screen who got it right. This video trivia question is, the three sisters of fate in God of War 2 actually have names. What are they? Type your answers now, and at the end, I'll give you the correct answer. But let's jump right into it.
Where he just goes, Stephanie and I talked about it, how he just goes into this plane and talks to Athena and the god Thoth, right? So I feel like his immortality is tied up with something with the higher gods, like they won't let him die.
I think so too, yeah.
So we know that there are higher gods in the God of War universe. When Athena died, she was transported to this higher plane of existence. In this higher plane, she actually experienced power. Too much power. When they corrupted her because of it. First, here is Athena saying this in God of War 3, and Cory Barlog briefly talking about this in a brief interview that he did.
Death cannot hold those with purpose, Kratos.
Athena?
I have missed you, Spartan.
I don't...
My sacrifice to save Zeus has brought me to a higher existence.
You still appear to be an Olympian.
Appearances can be deceiving, Kratos.
I think Athena began as not being. She was actually the one that was selfless and discovered.
Athena was kind of corrupted herself.
Yeah, she became corrupted. I mean, and I think she was the example of she was selfless. She died protecting Zeus, right? But in that selfless act, she was the first god to be selfless, and that was allowing her to ascend to a higher plane. She ends up going into a place that is higher than everybody else, and it totally messes with her head. She becomes just as bad as everybody else because she experiences a power greater than everybody, so that it is kind of always that message to people in that too much power will always have a negative effect on people.
This shows that there are some higher gods in a higher plane of existence. But who are they? Who are the higher gods? I'll answer it in a little bit. Now, let's talk about the Blades of Chaos curse. We saw in the Fallen God, Kratos was being haunted by the Blades of Chaos. Many times throughout the Fallen God comics, we saw Kratos cast the blades away. He threw them into oceans, discarded them, and walked for miles and miles. And then when he went to sleep, they somehow teleported to him. There was also a moment when fighting the hippo, Kratos went into such a rage after he tried to punch it and got knocked down that somehow, some way, Kratos summoned the Blades of Chaos to his hands. He left them behind and they weren't on his back. However, he was just so angry, he instantly summoned them. The Blades of Chaos and Kratos are cursed to be together, but how? Giving more context, Bruno is one of the longest developers for God of War and someone who knows more about the series than anybody, and he confirmed for us that the three blades are all separate blades: Blades of Chaos, Blades of Athena, Blades of Exile. He says Ares took back the Blades of Chaos, and we actually saw this in God of War 1 cutscene. When Kratos went in a portal trying to protect his family, Ares took those blades and killed that fake family, but why did the Blades of Chaos suddenly start following Kratos? Now, I know what you're thinking, that it's Greek magic that caused them to follow Kratos. Well, that can't be right because when Zeus died, you can see the chains around Kratos' arms fall off. All the Greek magic disappeared once Kratos killed Zeus and destroyed the Greek world. And since they are separate blades, then why didn't the Blades of Chaos follow Kratos throughout God of War 2 and 3? All of this makes the Blades of Chaos an unexplained mystery. Next, let's talk about Kratos' immortality. Now, I'm not repeating everything about this topic because it's a lot, and I already made a very in-depth explanation about Kratos' immortality. I did like a whole little investigation about it. I asked some of the devs, and I only got the answer that only Cory Barlog knows, and I even tried asking Cory himself when I did an interview with him and Eric Williams, and he gave an absolutely hilarious response. But the point is, only Cory Barlog knows how Kratos is immortal, and he's not telling, making this another unexplained mystery. Next, let's talk prophecy. Prophecy is a constant theme in God of War stories to push the world along, and are used to continue the plot. For example, on Santa Monica's Facebook page, you can find this article about Kratos. Kratos heard a prophecy from the Oracle that he will be defeated by his own sons and daughters. He, in order to stop the prophecy from happening, swallowed all of his children in his stomach and kept them there until Zeus, out of vengeance, slashed a hole into Kratos' stomach, freeing his brothers and sisters, that caused the prophecy to happen. In Ghost of Sparta, the Oracle heard a prophecy that the gods would be defeated by a marked warrior. The gods tried to stop that from happening, but they caused the prophecy to happen. Freya, even in God of War 2018, heard her son was going to die early, so she tried to stop that from happening, which inevitably caused his death to happen faster. Odin tried to stop Ragnarok, and of course we all know Ragnarok is going to happen in the next game because Eric Williams did confirm this for us. These prophecies are making the God of War story happen. If these prophecies didn't exist, then the God of War story as we know it would not exist either. But how are these prophecies made? Making this also an unexplained mystery because we have no idea how these prophecies even happen. Now, when the Fallen God came out, we were all hoping that they were answer, some of these mysteries. You do have the mystery of how Kratos got to Midgard. There are hints in the books and in the game itself. However, it actually wasn't shown canonically anyways. God of War is such an amazing series, but it does have mysteries to it. Now, who are the higher gods? Part of me, a very small part of me wants to say that the higher gods is Cory Barlog. It's the writing team, the people who create these games in the universe of God of War, because there are just things that only these developers know, like Kratos' immortality. And I don't know, I think if you really want to think about it like that, the reason why Kratos has the blades and the blades are following him around is simply because Cory Barlog and the rest of the writers and the people who create the story, they want it to happen that way, right? They want Kratos immortal. They want these prophecies to constantly be messing with the lives of Kratos and these other gods to make the God of War story happen. There's just so much stuff in this series that is unexplained, and I think that whether it's answered or not, it doesn't change our perception of the God of War story, because it is a story that we all love. I mean, it's pretty much about Kratos being angry, killing everybody, to becoming, trying to be a good father figure. Like, that's such a great story, and these unexplained mysteries, they don't really change that, right? Even if you were to get these answers, does it really matter at the end of the day? Those are just my thoughts on the God of War mysteries. Now, the answer to the trivia question is, okay, look, you guys know I suck at saying names sometimes, so here are some God of War developers saying the names.
They're usually viewed as three old women. Three nasty old women. Clotho spins the web of your life.
You will never control your threat, Kratos.
Lachesis measures it.
We've been expecting you.
Atropos, the worst of the three, cuts it.
We control your destiny, foolish mortal!
Thank you all so much for watching. If you want me to dive deeper into the immortality mystery, definitely click that video on your screen right now. I had an absolute blast investigating it, asking a bunch of developers what do they think about it, and all of them just tell me, Cory Barlog has the answer. But to dive into the mystery, make sure to hit it. Make sure to hit that like button as well. I'm gonna be out of here. Thank you guys and girls for listening. I'll see you in tomorrow's video.